In the year 2025, the roofing market is more competitive than it's ever been before. There's so much competition. The competition is growing at a rate that you can't even comprehend. So naturally, you being a business owner, you want to scale your own business. That's just a no-brainer. But there are a few systems that you need to have in place before you start scaling. That way, when you start to get a higher volume of calls and leads, you don't get crushed under the pressure. And in the year 2025, it's easier than ever to have a high volume of leads coming in constantly with less employees and less work on your end, but only if you have the correct systems put in place. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the 5 marketing systems you need to put in place or fix before you start scaling. It's time to stop wasting your money. It's time to really take your business to the next level. So starting off with number 1, I'm sure you guys have heard this a billion times before, but you need to dial in your speed to lead process. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the term, speed to lead just means the amount of time it takes you to respond to a lead who's interacted with your business. Now, the faster you respond to your leads, the more likely they are to buy from you. Now, honestly, this is a really small thing, but it's something that so many business owners overlook and they just put it off as something that doesn't really matter that much, when in reality, this is costing people thousands of dollars every single month. Now, most homeowners, especially in a high intent market like roofing, they expect a very fast response, and if you can't deliver that, they have no problem moving on to the competition. Now, the ideal is you respond within 30 seconds. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, how am I supposed to be responding in 30 seconds, especially when most of the times I'm out at a job or I'm up on a roof, or how am I supposed to be that quick? That's unrealistic. Well, the reality is if you can manage to do that, it's going to be an easy close for you because that builds rapid trust with the homeowner. You instantly responding to them shows them that you care about their problems. So here in just a moment, we'll get into how you can actually obtain this and how you can actually maintain a 30-second response time or less. But if you have a 5-minute response time, the lead's going to start going cold. They're already going to be looking at other options within that 5 minutes. Now, honestly, this is where a lot of businesses are at. They have a team of people who will respond to their leads, and it takes about 5 minutes, maybe sometimes longer than that. And it's just not optimal. It's not ideal. You're trying to be as efficient as you possibly can be, and this just isn't efficient. Now, if you have more than 30 minutes for a response time, the lead's just dead. There's really no coming back from that. They've already moved on to the next business. So how do you get this fast of a response time? Because obviously, if you have a team of people, even they won't be able to respond that fast in most cases. That's where AI comes in. You got to remember we're living in 2025. AI is the most advanced it's ever been, and it's just going to keep getting better. So once you implement AI into this system, it'll answer automatically, or if it's an email form that they filled out, it'll email them automatically. It can then qualify them, and then it'll automatically book the appointment, and it'll be no friction in the process. This is just a no-brainer. It's going to save you so much time, so much money, because you're not paying somebody a full-time salary to sit there and get slow responses for you. You're paying a fraction of the price and you're getting all of the benefits. The AI systems, they work 24 hours, they don't take breaks, they work every single day. Why wouldn't you want somebody who could do that? Now, there's thousands and thousands of businesses that are already implementing this, and if you don't do this, by 2026, you're already going to be left behind. That's just the reality of the scenario we're living in nowadays. Now, these businesses, they reward speed and efficiency. And if you can't deliver on either of those, then you're just going to get left behind. That's just a given at this point. And in 2025, AI is the best way to be fast and efficient and be cheaper, lower your overhead. Like, it's just a no-brainer at this point. Okay, so speed to lead, this is the number one thing you need to fix. If you can't fix this, you're gonna have so many more problems down the line, so make sure this is dialed in. And if you need help implementing AI, just click the link down below, book a free call with me. We can talk about how we can actually set this up for your business. So the next thing, in 2025, websites are so behind, and people may think this is controversial. A lot of people would disagree with me on this, but websites are not efficient. We just talked about this. Efficiency is the most important thing in 2025 because with AI, people are scaling at levels that you can't even comprehend, and you're not going to outcompete these people by doing the same things that we've always done for the past 10 years. So you may be asking, why don't websites work the same way? You got to think on a larger psychological scale here. People have way shorter attention spans in 2025. People have a high urgency problem, which, their roof is probably leaking, their shingles are coming up, whatever it may be. It's a high intent problem. And number 3, they want the service fast. They need it done right away as soon as they can possibly get it. They're not trying to read through your whole website and learn the about us and learn all this stuff. It's just not efficient. Now, there may be some scenarios where it's beneficial, and I'm not saying you should just totally delete your website. They're good things to have, but this is not where you should be guiding your traffic to. So you may be asking, well, what should I use then? Well, in 2025, I found the best thing to use is a high conversion funnel. This is quite literally just a simple landing page that's optimized to drive the traffic straight to booking a call or an appointment. So they'll come from the ad listing, they'll land on the landing page, they'll see a clear offer, they'll fill out the form, and then the AI will contact them right from that point after they fill it out. Like I said a moment ago, you got to think on a higher scale here. We're trying to remove as much friction as we possibly can from the buying process. And the homeowner scrolling through an entire website is just unnecessary friction that we don't need in the buying process. Like I said, it's good to have in place because it can build social proof. This is a good thing. But this is not where you should be driving your traffic to from your ads or from even your Google business listing. So a proper funnel will have a clear promise, a strong hook, social proof, a frictionless form, like I said, immediate follow-up trigger, and a direct path to booking. Now, most of this can be handled by AI, like this stuff right here. In all reality, it's much easier and it's going to take you way further so long as you have all these things in place. So the next thing is AI appointment setting. Now, most roofers, they have one person or multiple people dedicated to just doing the phone calling, the phone answering, the appointment setting, etc. This is way too unnecessary. Now, this is no hate to your guys' teams or anything like that out there, but just the reality is they can't do it as fast as a machine can do it. We're thinking in efficiency terms here. AI can do it at a fraction of the price, a fraction of the time, and 10 times the volume as the people you guys are hiring. And that's just how it is. It's nothing against them. These AIs, they can do it in seconds, and it's going to take multiple minutes for these people to fill out these things. So the lead comes in, AI qualifies it, checks your calendar, checks the available time slots, and chooses one that actually works. Books the appointment, sends a confirmation, boom. Just like that, you got a new lead in, already booked into your calendar without you even having to touch anything. Why would you not want that? If you're trying to be as efficient as possible and make the most amount of money possible, this is just a no-brainer, like I said earlier. These types of systems, they will make the most out of your time. You only have a set amount of working hours in the day. There's only so much you can get done, even with just a team of people. Why not put in an artificial intelligence that's smarter and faster, that's going to be able to do it for you without you having to do anything? That makes sense from a business standpoint. And like I said at the start of the video, it's only going to get better and it's only going to get more advanced. So you might as well get in now while it's still in its pre-developmental state. And even nowadays, it's really starting to get up there in the advancements. So then number 4, we've got automated follow-up. Now, something that I don't see a lot of people talk about is how much money is being lost in the follow-up game. Manual follow-ups just really aren't cutting it anymore. And something I've especially noticed is a lot of business owners, they get really lazy with it. They'll just send the proposal and they'll be like, hey, have you seen this or whatever? And that's as far as it goes. And then they just get ghosted. And it just makes perfect sense. Of course you'd get ghosted if you're sending lazy follow-ups. Like, you're just asking for it at that point. Now, you would only get ghosted for a couple reasons. They usually just wouldn't trust you. That's pretty much the primary reason. Another reason would be maybe it's too much for them or they're not comfortable spending that much. Those things can be handled in the sales process. But as far as the trust, one thing that's really going to build trust is you following up with them consistently. People crave consistency, especially when they're going to spend a huge sum of money on a roof replacement or even a roof repair. They want to know that you're going to be able to show up for them and for their problems and actually be able to solve them. Now, most of these objections will be pre-handled if you have a good funnel in place, like I was saying, because this will have the social proof that they'll need to see that you guys actually do solid work. But follow-ups is just a numbers game. You got to think about it. The likelihood of you closing a lead with just one follow-up or just even 2 follow-ups is way less likely than something like 5 or 6 follow-ups if it's necessary, obviously. Now, I'm not saying you should go out here and spam these people's inboxes or anything like that. They should be genuine follow-ups at a reasonable periodic time. And of course, the messages should be optimized. You shouldn't just sound like a dickhead just trying to, squeeze money out of them. They should be good messages showing that you're just trying to provide value and solve this person's problem. And of course, you're still going to lose leads. That's just the game of sales and the game of business in general. But you have a higher likelihood of closing these clients if you're doing more and more follow-ups. That just goes for most businesses in general. So don't lose money in the follow-up game. This is really important. Now, the last one is proposal and quote creation. So let's say you hop up on the roof, you take a look, you get the inspection done, you get down off the roof. That's already, 10, 15, 20 minutes right there. You go sit down, you talk with the homeowner, you go back out to your truck, you go create the proposal or the quote. Think about how much time you are spending just in that one appointment alone. Now, why wouldn't you want to reduce that amount of time? You are wasting even more time just by creating the proposal. And it's time that you're wasting for no reason, because AI can make it in less than a minute. And you're out there spending, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. You're just wasting your time. You're not being efficient. Now, of course, there's nuance to everything. Everything's going to take time, but you might as well utilize the resources that you have available to you. Because in most cases, you're trying to get it to a point where you're making so much money and you have such a high volume that you can't even handle more clients. That's where we're trying to get to. And if you're wasting this amount of time on, just small little things, that's what we're trying to cut out so that you can actually spend more time on the things that matter. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing about this business model is the amount of time you have and how you use it. And if you're not using it wisely, that's just going to come back to bite you in the future. So I know this is definitely a lot of stuff to go over. AI is also just not really an easy thing to understand. There's a lot of nuance in it. There's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration, especially when you're setting up these AI agents or these AI systems. There's a lot that goes into them. And obviously you're most likely pretty busy, caught up with, managing your business, managing your employees, managing the actual jobs that you have. So it's not easy to sit down and implement all these things. So if you're actually interested and you think this would be a good fit, you want to start saving that time, you want to start being more efficient with your processes, click the link down in the description. You can book a free one-on-one call with me. We'll sit down and see if this could actually help your business or not. Because in all reality, that's what this is all about. This is about saving you time and making you more money. And once you save more time, you're automatically going to be making more money because your time is going to be worth way more. And you'll be focusing on things that actually matter. So if you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure to drop a like, click the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see in the future. We're always looking to implement new things and test new programs out. So if there's anything specific you want to see, leave it in the comments down below. We'll take a look at it. And yeah, don't get left behind going into the year 2026. AI is rapidly advancing. Things are changing really quick, so make sure to take advantage of them while you still are ahead. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.